bring it down. If you take a trade, let's do this. Price broke higher, pulls back right here to support. You go and take a trade right here as soon as it hits the area. Price is going to pull back. It does things like that, guys. So don't let the market scare you out. Sometimes you trade the direction of what you know that how the market's going to what it's doing, what it's trying to do, and don't trade against that. See, I hit my first contract and bounced. I'll be dag. I believe it definitely is going to pull higher. So I'm going to stick with what I see. Come on, it's bouncing off 49. The upper end is high volume area. There it goes. Going to close this out. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Future Trading with Mike, and again today we're looking at the E-mini ES. This is my live recorded session here of me trading the ES this morning. Today is the 15th of February, and if you haven't watched yesterday's video, go back and watch yesterday's video. It was a really good video. Discussing the truth about day trading with real money, with your own money, versus paper trading. So I always like to start the videos by saying thank you to everyone who has already subscribed to the channel, who's been liking the videos. I appreciate that. If this is your first time watching the video or one of the videos today, you can go back and watch. I have tons of videos on the channel, guys, about 150 plus videos. Variety of different topics, but primarily showing the strategy that I use each and every day to trade the future markets, particularly the E-mini S&P 500 futures, and show how I profit each day, making money trading with the strategy, which I go in detail, discuss, and show you, and explain each one of my trades. When I wait for the setup, I trade based upon projections on the pullback, and I discuss in detail my trades. So go back and watch some of the other videos if you haven't watched them. I mean, some good videos within the last week. So if your first time watching one of the videos, please go ahead and take the time to hit that little red button, that subscribe button, as well as that little bell notification or that bell icon, which is the post notification, to ensure that you never miss one of the videos. So we'll go ahead and take a look at today. We'll go ahead and jump into today's video here. Sorry about that. Let me minimize a couple of things here so we can move forward here. Okay. All right. I'm going to pull over off another monitor that I have a chart which is the higher time frame for me, the 60-minute. I use a 1 hour chart to kind of I start off my days each morning looking at this here to see kind of from an overview what the market is particularly doing. Right now I'm waiting for my volume profile to load on my 12 range chart. I'm not sure what's going on there. I lost that this morning, but that's okay. I'm trying to reload that. But anyways, let's go take a look and see on the 1 hour chart what we have going on here. Trying not to make this a long-winded video today. So yesterday I talked about price bumping or when it started selling off here, swinging to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs. We bumped up against an area. You see this block here, this rectangle block, that's demand. So particularly what I look for, guys, and I'm going to talk about this every single day because many of you are, appreciate the value of in the content that I create. In particular, me discussing over and over again the strategy, explaining my routine of what I do when I look at the charts, what I'm looking for. So I kind of give you an inside perspective of how I start looking at the charts, starting with the 1 hour chart and then moving forward, okay? So what I'll do here is yesterday's session here, I just mentioned price bounced off this area right here, guys, where we have this blue rectangle here. This area here is a demand area from January the 28th. So when I see price pulling back to an area of demand, what am I thinking? Well, what I'm thinking is that price is going to definitely have some type of reaction there. And more likely it's going to be a good opportunity to take a long entry. So once I see price pulling back to an area of demand simply means it's an area where a lot of buying came out of. Okay. So naturally speaking, when price comes back to an area like that, especially on a higher time frame, the move is going to be more impactful. The move is going to be a lot greater. All right. So, and I'm gonna say something else too here in a minute. So when price retraced back to this area right here, okay, in yesterday's trading session, that was from January 28th. Yesterday's trading session pulled back to that area finally. Okay. We bounce. Small high volume node. What's above there? A high volume area. Okay? I said the move will be impactful, right? I said the move will be if it rejects there, it will be a pretty significant move. What happens? Price rejects 43.63 area, pretty much a little lower. But just say this blocked off area right here, okay? And it moves all the way back up pretty much to 44.17, 44.15, if you want to call it, okay? Why? It came down here, retraced back. Demand, okay? Demand is an area, just like I said, an area where it's buying. Lots of buying taking place. Small high volume node. I've said this over and over again. Price likes to move from a high volume area through a low volume area back to a high volume area, right? So it bounced here. It pushed all the way back up to this major high volume area. But what is it going to do as well? See, when price made this swing to the downside, right? What do we have up here at this point, okay? Price bounced that demand, but once price moves to the downside forming a swing, meaning it made a low, lower high, lower low, what did it do? It set up for an area of supply right above. So you have so many areas where price is going to want to pull back to. So it bounced off demand, high volume area, moves to a low volume area, pulls back to, or moves back to an area of high volume right here. Within this swing is supply. Okay? So you guys saw me take trades yesterday based off the area of supply, based off the area of demand. And I mentioned this yesterday. I said price rejected off the deep when it pushed up here around 7, 8 o'clock yesterday, pulled back to the area of supply. Okay? All right? Why is this an area of supply? First of all, let's take a look. Price pushed up, pulled back, swung higher. Okay? Then it started moving to the downside, taking out this low right here of this swing, taking out this low right here as price moved lower. The swing here to the downside was the swing that pretty much took out this swing to the upside, taking out the low of this swing to the upside. When price retraced back to that swing right there, we want to look for the area tucked at the upper portion of the swing to the downside. Okay? Because that is the origination, that is the bulk of where the selling took place at. Okay? Price pulls back to that area, rejects it. We're at the upper end of the high volume area. What's going to happen? It's going to naturally want to come back down, pretty much to back down here to this area right here. You know, back down to the lower portion of this, back to the low pretty much. So it rejects that area, bounces, moves all the way back down here. I said this before I closed out the video yesterday. I said the price rejects this area. What did I say? I said price is going to come back down here and test 43, 65, 66, somewhere in that area. Did it not do that? It took it primarily most of the day to do that, but it did not do that. So if you got in on the move, okay, right here, selling, okay, if you got in at the close of this candle right here, this red candle right here, let's just say you got in at, just at the close of that candle there, which, you know, if you're trading off a higher time frame, now this is if you're positional swing trading. But let's say you got in at 43.97, 43.98. Okay? Now, you had to stay in that trade for most of the day, but that's position of swing trader, which I don't do. I'm a scalper. But I'm just trying to show you the opportunity that what took place here. Say you got in at 43.98, all right? Price closed here. Or you could have waited for price to close below, pull back, and then once it move to the downside and got in. But if you got in at 43.98, say for instance, 43.97, okay, you could have taken that trade from there, all right, all the way down to 66, 65 here, okay? You got that? Guys, that's a big move. You're talking, how many points is that? That is, say 98. Hold on, guys, my computer is still trying to load that chart on a 12 range chart. Okay, so say 40, so 43.97, right? 43.97 to 60. Well, let's say 67. That's 30 points. Okay, that's a 30-point move on the ES. Okay, that is a lot of profit. Okay. So I trade based on areas of supply and demand because that's the areas where there's initial selling or most of the selling or buying took place at. Okay, so now price turns back around to the overnight session. It comes back up here at the bouncing off demand again, back up to the area of supply, rejects the area. Okay, pulls back. Okay, so at this point we're not breaking a high or breaking a low. Pulls back supply, bounces, right? All right. Then what happens? Then what happens is price, then it decides to push higher, taking out this high right here. So what do we have at this point here? Well, let me tell you what we have going on now. Price push down, pull back, push lower here, moved higher. Okay. Now that it's moving higher, what do we have? All right, let me show you what we have. Now we're going to actually have an area, possibly there's going to be an area of demand setting up in this area right here, okay? All right, price push down, pull back, push lower, turns back around, finally takes out this high right here, okay? All right, so now we got to look for possibly where the area demand is going to be at. So price pulls back to this area. I'm not going to take a trade at the middle of this high volume area. I want to see price kind of move back to the lower portion of this high volume area. Excuse me, back around 94, 95 area. Okay, so let's mark off an area of demand pretty much. Let's see here. Let me take a look. Boom, boom. Yeah, okay, so we can mark off, let's just say price. Give me 1 second, guys. This area right here. Now, I'm not saying price is going to come all the way back down here. It could take several hours for it to do it. I just don't know. But the price moves back down to this area right here. Okay? Let's see. Okay. Somewhere in this area here. Somewhere in this area right here. Okay? All right. So that's an area of demand. Why? All right? Because price pushed up from a swing to the upside. Okay? Setting itself up for the area of demand. Price pulls back to it, but we're also at the lower portion of the high volume area. Okay? Price likes to move from the lower portion of a high volume area back to the mean, which means back up to the high volume area, pretty much the upper end or the middle of it, okay? So also, what do we have going on here? Let's see if we have an area of supply. Price is bouncing in this area right here, right? Okay. On the 1 hour chart, I'm looking at some things, guys, here, so bear with me. Okay, so price is bouncing off this area you can see right here, okay? It's an area of resistance right there. But I don't like to really trade areas, actual areas of support and resistance, because what can happen right here is that price pulled back right here. Okay, it's bouncing out of this, bouncing out of this, come on. Bouncing out of this area right here to swing to the downside right here when it pulled back, this area right here. So price could pull lower, turn back around, push higher. Now, the area that I probably could be, keep my eye on would be more so this area right here, in a sense, right here, price pulling back right above this high volume area. I don't really like this area because it's a low volume area, okay? So to me, this would be more of so of an area of supply sitting right here, okay? So we'll see what happens if price can get to this area. I'm not saying I'm going to jump right into a trade. Now, this is a 1 hour chart, okay? Now, what's going on right now, what I see is that price is breaking structure to the upside, okay? Broke this high right here. So my mind mentally, as far as a trader, I'm looking for long entries. Me, why? Because the 1 hour is showing me that price is broke structure to the upside. It's breaking structure, okay? So I see it break market structure, and then it pushes up here, pulls back, breaks market structure here, as well as break structure right here to the upside. So if it pulls back, now price can pull back to this area right here. Let me show you. With my arrow line, there we go. It can pull right back to this area right here. But if price pulls right back to this area right here, then we're basically at the top end of the swing, and this is just support. I want to see price pull back into the area. come back into the area of the swing to the upside that took out this high right here. This would be the area of more so for demand for me. Okay, so that's what I like to see. Right now, price is kind of in the middle of this high volume area, kind of tricky, but just keep in mind, your eyes open for, looking for, stay vigilant of looking for a long opportunity. That's what I'm looking for right now. Okay, now would I taking this short right here? More likely, probably not. Because this is just an area of resistance right here for me. Okay, all right. So I like to trade supply demand zones. Supply demand zones are areas that are within an area of support or an area of resistance. Okay, all right. Area of resistance, supply sitting within it. Area of support, demand sitting within it. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Supply is an area where a lot of selling took place. Demand is an area where a lot of buying took place. Okay, and that's what I'm looking for. So once I've identified pretty much the direction of comfortably what I feel the market's going to, which way it's moving, then I'm over at my 12 range chart at that point, and I'm looking for opportunities. I'm looking at to see what's going on 12 range pretty much. Okay, so now we're looking at the 12 range chart. I have my volume profile set, basically reloaded. Give me 1 second here. I'm trying to see what this area, this box here is. I think that's the box from off the it's off the 1 hour chart, guys. So let me bring back the 1 hour chart. Let's do that right quick. Oops, sorry about that. Where's the Joker at? It's acting crazy right now. There it is. All right, bring it back over. Okay, roll back up. All right, so we'll go ahead and mark these zones so we can see them. So we can see them on the 12 range chart. Come on. Okay, and we'll mark this zone here. So that way I can see it on the 12 range as well. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Okay, so let's see that it should. Yeah, there it is. That's the area supply, and the area demand is way down there. Okay, so now I'm over at my 12 range chart. And yes, I have not taken any trades this morning so far, guys. It's 10:15, because I'm doing a lot of explanation and trying to help you guys out, okay? So please find value in what I'm trying to do, guys. I really do. I mean, I had one or two people comment on a video, whatever the case is. And if you don't find value in the content, then don't. Just go somewhere else. Simple as that, Someone said something like, oh, all he's doing is rambling and rambling. If you don't find value in it, it's not good for you, then go shop somewhere else and find, someone else that you think that could provide the information for you for free. I'm just providing what I know, how I look at the market, my inside or in-depth view of. I talk about my trades. So if you don't find it valuable, I mean, don't be a troll. Go find somewhere else to hide out and troll someone else's page, and maybe more likely you're probably not interested in trading anyway. So all right, let's keep moving on. So let's see here. So right now, what do we see going on? We see the market moving sideways. That's all we see. And I said that price I showed you on the 1 hour chart, price bouncing this area here, pulling back, and then make up here and break out of this area to the upside and push higher. Now, one thing I don't do is, I'm going to say this, guys. Most times, I do not like trading against a trend pretty much. And I hate to use the word trend, but I like to trade in sync with the higher time frames, what I'm trying to say. So I don't like to count trend trade. So, and I don't do breakouts. Well, no, most times I don't like to do breakouts, but I like to stick on my plan, trade on pullbacks based on the strategy. But so I'm depicting, I have to figure out what the market is trying to do, looking at the higher time frame, and trade in sync with that. So if the higher time frame is showing where the market's breaking structure to the upside, then I'm looking at the 12 range chart to see if it's starting to break structure as well. If it's breaking structure, then I'm looking for pullbacks to go long. All right, and that's how I trade. So I do not like the counter trade against what the higher time frame is actually showing us. So I don't like to do that. I like to trade in sync with what's going on the higher time frame. Just want to throw that out to you guys. All right. So I recommend you guys do the same, but you trade how you want to trade. That's fine. Everybody has a different style of, what they do. So this is just me and how I trade. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's take a look to see. Market's moving, it's ranging, it's moving sideways. We have not really done much at all, guys, to be honest with you, okay? So let's see what's going on here. Um, like I said, I'm looking for, let's see. I'm just waiting, guys. I don't see anything because the market's just moving sideways right now. Okay, so if you don't, just be patient and when you trade, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. Be patient. Be patient. So I'm going to go probably long here, and I'm late on the trade because I've been doing mostly a lot of talking. And I'm trading right at the high volume node, but I'm looking to take this entry at least back up to 53.20. I'm going to do something like this right here. All right. Okay. I'm looking for the market to push higher at this point. Now, I don't want to see it break pretty much. Let's take a look here. Okay, yes, it's pulling back. I'm taking some heat on. That's because I'm taking my trade, um, way too early. Well, actually, I'm in the trade late. I should have taken it down here. Is what I'm trying to say. So, but my goal is the aim is for price to pull back to this area up here around the 55 area. So we'll see what happens here. Yes, I'm taking on some heat. I don't want to see price break below 44.40. The entry is going to be right down here in this area right here around 43. So I'm gonna scale on with one contract if price can move back down to this area right here. We'll see what happens. Price is going to pull back. It does things like that, guys. So don't let the market scare you out. Sometimes you trade the direction of what you know that how the market's going to what it's doing, what it's trying to do, and don't trade against that. See, I hit my first contract and bounced. I'll be dag. I believe it definitely is going to pull higher. So I'm going to stick with what I see. Come on, it's bouncing off 49. The upper end is high volume area. There it goes. Gonna close this out. Come on. We're right here, this little high right here. Price should break above this and push higher. Move sideways right here, so. Mm. All right, it's playing around. Don't really like what it's doing here. We're at the upper end of the high volume area. I'm gonna close out right around this area if we can get back up here again. 49.75. Actually, I will. Let's do this. Okay, there we go. At 49, we're a little higher right there. Let's go to 49. Okay, it's bouncing. It's just playing around. It's moving sideways right now, so we want to wait it out here. I'm looking for it to come from and test this area up here, but price is going to break through this high volume area first. Hmm. Yeah, the entry of the trade was down here. Okay, I got in up here, a little higher. I got in too high is what I'm trying to say. But we'll wait and get filled when it comes back up. Yeah, I bought too high. That's all right. Come on, trying to close the gap here. Okay, show you how I'm gonna trade this. Come on. So I entered in with another contract down here at the bottom, and I'm going to pick up another point going up, and then get out at 48 and 3/4. Come on. Market's moving sideways right here. Okay, first that contract's filled. I'm looking forward to go up there and hit that. Come on. There we go. All right, we got filled. All three contracts took on some heat. Yes, I did. But I mentioned it already. I bought at the upper end right here, the high volume node. Buy below the high volume node, okay? Now I'm looking for price to see, I'm expecting that it should come back up this area right here, okay? But it's moving sideways right now. And, kind of just playing around building volume in this area right here. So, I sit back. I'm comfortable because I know what the market's trying to do. And I don't let it try to, spook me out. My break meet, there it goes. See what I'm saying? I told you what it was going to do. All right, it's going to come up here and test this 55 area or right here. Right now it's at 53 1/4. Okay, so that's why I took that buy entry because I said take long. I'm looking for a long entry because the market has already shown me on the higher time frame what it's trying to do. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna trade in sync and in accordance with the higher time frame. Okay, so I picked up 26 on that little trade there. Okay, no, not a lot, but it's something, right? Okay, 26, first trade of the day. All right, so we're just waiting for another opportunity. That's how we do it. Let's see what the market's going to do here. Um, yeah, it's still got room to push up. So I'm going to buy one contract back up to this area here. 53.75. It should hit me and fill me. Boom, there we go. Okay, just that easy. I already said where it was going. I told you guys that where it was going. 54. Okay, so that's probably just another 4 ticks right there. Let's see. 5 ticks. Okay, 25 ticks now. All right. Whoops. Okay. And this is the reason why I like trading the ES is because the tick value is higher. You get $12.50 a tick. versus trading the NASDAQ or the Dow $5 a tick. Yes, they move, and you get lots of opportunities on the NASDAQ and Dow. But the thing about those markets is that you really got to be pretty accurate in your entry or whatever the case is, and know when to get in, know when to get out, okay? Because they move like lightning, they move pretty quick. What did I say? 55, we're already there, okay? All right. So I mentioned that I'm looking at price to really see if it's going to break up here at 44.68, okay? Now let's talk about the trade. I told you that my direction of what I was looking for was long entries, okay? Now, price pushed up higher, making structure to the upside. When I say making structure, breaking it as well. Pushing up, pulling back, making a higher high, taking out resistance, okay? Pulls back, higher highs, coming back, all right? Then we start moving sideways right here. But what I saw right here, my mind is still focused on taking long entries. Why? When price started moving to the downside, it started breaking the structure to the downside as well, right? But then it turns back around. So when price, excuse me, push here, down, retrace, lower low, what happens? Turns back around, taking out this high right here, all right? So pushes higher, taking out this high right here. So with that said, I know I have an area of demand somewhere in this area here because there was lots of buying that took place to push the market higher and take out this high right here. All right, so we'll go over, grab our rectangle, and this is where I mark my area of demand. Okay, so the area would be, let's take a look. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. All right, so the area of demand is going to be, let me draw it right. Let's see, price goes down right here. Right here, where price bounced at. This was your opportunity. Why also? All right, let's explain it to you. Price pulls back to the area of demand. What do you got going on here to the right? Look at your volume profile. We're at the lower end of the volume profile as well. Price likes to move from the lower end to the upper end of the volume profile. Okay? That's how price likes to move. It's simple as that. So I primarily trade demands of area supply. Why? You guys, when you start doing your homework and start to find and start to really see, if you take a trade, okay? Let me show you. Wait for my, let's see. If you take a trade, let me blow this up a little bit. Bring it down. If you take a trade, let's do this. Price broke higher. Pulls back right here to support. You go and take a trade right here as soon as it hits the area of support. What does it do? Stop you out. I try to go long right here. When price pulls back into this area of the swing right here, which is support, right here, I go long right here to close this the green candle. What does it do? Turns back around, stops me out. Okay? Your stop would have been right here if you would have entered right here to go long. Turns back around, stops you out, and pushes lower. Why? Because price, the institutions want to come down there where the money's sitting at. They want to come down here to the area of demand. They want to come back to where where you know buying took place and where there's potential for more buyers to step into the market. Not only just that, but it's an area where they want to do, look. Just think about it like this, okay? When price pulls back to this area here, support, okay? This swing to the upside was a swing that took out this high right here, okay? When price pulls back to that support area right here, this swing right here, would you want to buy at 44.48, or would you want to come down here and buy at 44.41? Just think about it in everyday life. Do you want to buy something that's more expensive or buy it when it's cheaper? I want to buy it when it's cheaper. It's daggone 7 points cheaper there. So that's the way the institutions think. They sell when the market is high. They buy when the market is low. That's the way they operate. That's the way they work, guys. You have to think like them. If you want to be successful in profit in trading, you have to think like the institutions. Sell when the market is high, buy when it's low. As simple as that. So this is the reason why I trade areas of supply and demand more so than just the areas of support and resistance. If I trade, take a long at support, at an area of support, right when price comes back to a swing, yes, sometimes it may work out. But in most times, The institutions, they know what traders are going to do. They're going to take a trade right off the bounce of support to go long. Institutions are going to come back down there and stop you out, collect your money, and then they're going to want to move the market lower to get a lower price. Then they're going to step back up to put more positions on to go long. Okay, as simple as that. And then the reverse if you're selling. Okay, simple as that. All right. So right now we got the market moving sideways, and we are in a wedge. And for all those who don't know what a wedge simply means that price is not breaking to make any higher highs or higher lows. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Well, we are in this leg to the downside. Price swung down, pull back. Price swung down, pull back. Moving sideways, hasn't made a lower low. So price hasn't made a lower low yet. Okay, came back. Did it break the low? No. Did it high out? No. All right, so we are trading in a wedge, building volume in this area right here. As simple as that. Okay. All right. So right now I'm just up 25 ticks. I don't know how many ticks I'll end up getting today, but it's not about that for me because I can make money every single day trading stuff. More so, it's about for me is to be able to help you guys along. For all those that have questions about it, this is the reason why I do the videos. I do not do any mentorship programs because it just takes too much time. I'm sure it does. I haven't even tried it, but if I try to set up to where I do one-on-ones with people, guys, that's just like I don't have that kind of time in the day because outside of trading, I trade for 2 hours a day pretty much. I do look at the market in the afternoon, but most times once I'm done with this, I'm off to doing other things business-wise. So trading is just a small fraction or percentage of my daily life and my business opportunities, okay, or what I do for a living. But I like to trade because to me, I'm passionate about it, and I like it, it's a thrill. Like how some people like to play video games, whatever the case is. This to me is like a video game. It's a thrill of doing it to outcompete the component. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I want to show the institutions that hey, they got the money to push the pull the market. So I'm gonna show them that I can move with them. Okay, so that's what it's all about for me. Okay, so let's go back. Right now I mentioned already that there's an area of supply sitting up here at the top. All right, so yeah. All right. Okay. So we're just moving sideways, like I mentioned. So I'm standing down, but we're gonna look at the 1 hour chart again. Okay. So I told you guys that a price. Let's see here. Give me 1 second. I said this area here, but let's take a look at something. Price push down, pull back, and then push lower. Then it turns back around. Yeah, this could be a big if, right here is what I'm trying to say. Let me delete this. Actually, I don't want to delete that. This could be an area. This price pushed up here, it pulls back, okay? All right. And then it pushes higher. So somewhere in this area here, don't know 100% sure, but this is off of a higher time frame. Price could bounce that. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, because this is an area of demand in this area right here. Okay, so price push down, pull back, push lower, turns back around, pushes higher. Right? Okay, so somewhere price can bounce at. Now, if it pulls back to this area, I'm trying to say. Now, what we have above here is, like I said, it's an area of supply. All right, because when price push down here, it pulls back, pushes lower, okay? Turns back around as it pushes higher and takes this little high right here out. But then it turns back around and takes the low out. Takes the low out, okay? So let me kind of show you these things. Because you have to, let me say this to you guys. If you do not know about market structure, what is this thing doing? If you do not know about market structure, it singly is the most important part of trading, guys, okay? I'm going to tell you that. Let's see here. Come on. For some reason, I think I lost my video, but it's okay. Let's see. Let's actually, I'm going to show you. Let me minimize this. Oh, there it goes right there. I'm sorry. Okay, so it is there. All right. Okay. So let me show you. Um, and then I don't know how many more trades I get to today. It's acting funny. Okay, it's the video. So here we go. Ah, okay. Giving me a fit, but okay. Price pushes down, pulls back, pushes lower, turns back around, takes out this high right here. Okay. So is there an area of right here is an area of demand, but price blasts right through it. This is why you don't take a trade right off the bounce of an area of demand. You wait for it for the rejection. So what happened? Price pushes lower. Boom. Okay. So now we got an area. We got something for the area of supply. Where's the area of supply? Sitting up in this area right here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it could be. Let's see. Let me do this. The area of supply. Area of supply could be sitting up in this area, right here. Okay. It could be up in this in this area right up in here. Okay. All right. So if price pulls back and gets to this area right here, I'm definitely going to be looking at somewhere between probably right around the 4,500 area, which is a round number, and looking for rejection. Or price could, because right now we're kind of, even though my direction, looking at the market, is I have a long bias. But if price pulls back to this area of supply, I'll start to shift because I know price is pulling back to the area to where it can react at and possibly look for an opportunity to go short. But if it comes back down to this area here, I'm definitely looking for an opportunity to long. Meaning pulling back to this area somewhere between maybe 44.10 down to 44, 40, 43.95. It's a big gap, but we're looking at the 1 hour chart somewhere in there. Okay, just don't know 100% sure. Okay. But I'm going to keep my eye on that opportunity, because those are two areas I have marked up. That does not mean that I'm trading the 1 hour chart, guys. I'm just marking zones, and then I go refine the zones of the area of supply and demand on my 12 range chart. That's what I do. Okay, simple as that. Let's minimize that. Okay. All right. So we're just slowly grinding. But like I said, guys, trade in sync with the higher time frame. And I can assure you that, you're as long as you're taking the trades at a zone or a level that, is high probability, and taking it at the right area, then you're going to be in the money. You're going to be golden. The price is moving sideways right now. You see all this volume that it's just building, and it's pretty much, let's see here, trying to break above the value area high, which is that area right there, 45, 59. I don't trade those type of zones or areas or levels, I should say. Some people do though, but I just trade price action. I trade based upon what price is doing, price movements. And so we'll see if price is actually going to go up here. If it's going to break the high and then push up to this zone here off the 1 hour. We'll see. I said yesterday, I told you what price is going to do. Bounce off supply, what was hitting that, and then it push lower back down to the area of demand and bounce off demand. So, and that's because price likes to move from a high volume area through a low volume area to a high volume area. It's just, it plays off of those type things. It's like, we're comfortable as beings or as humans, and things we're comfortable with, right? Same thing as anything else. It's price action, the markets to me are like living creatures. They move naturally to kind of the same tune of things. They move from a high volume area, comfortable there, to a low volume area, don't like that, back to a high volume area, comfortable there, that type thing. All right. So let's see. Let's see. So let's see. What are the prices going to do here? Are we going to reject this area here again? This area here, are we going to reject it again? Or are we going to finally push higher? Are we going to reject this area here again? We're going to reject that, or are we going to push higher? Let's see. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Price breaks above here, going the green candle. Then we'll come up here and test the highs and possibly break higher. But we'll see what happens right here. I'm saying this green candle right here closes above green, then more than likely it's going to push higher and then break the highs. Video out here, guys. I appreciate everyone who's tuned in and watched the video today. Thank all of those who have subbed to the channel. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please take your time and go ahead and hit that red button, that subscribe button, and hit that little bell icon as well. Price is kind of wedging here. Not sure what it's trying to do. Is moving sideways as well, so we could come back up and hit that area. I told you this is the zone up here, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, see you in the next video. If you're trading today, be safe in the market, and see you in the next one.